Okay, so it's called Notice to Courts and Agents. The courts have ruled that the only authority held by the government is authority that was delegated by we the people. The courts have also said that we the people have all the rights of the king, therefore we are all kings and queens. Be it known that all persons claiming professional association with the existing court system, also including ministers, police, bailiffs, magistrates, judges, registrars and deputy registrars, and other court officers and employees and all other agents and prosecutors from now referred to as INOR, also known as in need of redemption, from varying other sources within New Zealand company structure and substructure are herewith noticed to stop and to recuse themselves immediately in all and any further action and involvement in relating to their respective positions. You could face charges in a common law court and in a trial by jury for treason or high treason for the past and present involvement in undue process of justice and perversion of justice by fraud, contempt, trespass, sedition, and any unauthorized administration of estates or trusts or persons without authority of delegation from any executive officers, abandonment of the oaths of office as public servants, and for impersonation of positions held under your oath, taken when as a matter of fact being engaged in commercial revenue generating enterprise contrary to the position supposed to have held. We the people could agree to appoint a transitional chief administrator who could take over the keys or other means of access to the buildings to coordinate the conversion of the existing buildings and administration of record keeping back to the original purpose of administering real justice. All records and all chattels would have to remain on site, and full access to the chief administrator or people appointed by the chief administrator would be provided from that day forward to commence a review and full audit of the previous court activities and level of involvement of all INOR in treasonous behaviour and any other crime committed against the people. Be it known to all women and men that this land is a common law jurisdiction and that all lawful courts are common law courts where free men and women can exercise their inalienable rights to trial by jury. Is it not true that all court buildings are standing on the land of the people, the internal sovereign heads making up the one and only true crown, and being the land granted for the purpose of administering justice by the rule of law, and being land without certificate of title or sales and purchase agreement which would define ownership? Is it not true that the original grant given to occupy the land the court building stands on was to facilitate justice as public service providers and as public servants, and the servants to the people could one day be revoked by the internal sovereign heads, the people, who could authorise and execute a notice of this nature? Is it not true that any officer of any court and any government official, also including New Zealand police who have attempted to compel or compelled one of the people into their foreign corporate commercial jurisdiction by accusing them of being a person who has perjured their oath and were engaging in treason and sedition, and they have no immunity whatsoever because all officers of all courts are presumed to know the law? Is it not true that no government official who represents anything about New Zealand has any authority whatsoever over the people, and the minute he or she attempts to assert any such authority, he or she immediately purges his or her oath, engages in treason, also known as a breach of trust, and is engaged in sedition because he or she is making war against the established government, which is the people, and he or she immediately loses all immunity he or she might otherwise enjoy. Is it not true? It is essential to the preservation of truth and justice and freedom to affirm oneself to the right to trial by jury, and that any denial of this right by anyone constitutes treason against the man and woman standing on the land. No Parliament, also known as part of Management Committee of the New Zealand Company, can legislate to abolish or diminish this right protecting life, liberty and property in a common law jurisdiction, and have no standing as sovereign crown, and never had such a standing as sovereignty was never ceded to the New Zealand Company by the man and woman on the land. Is it not true it is the duty and responsibility of jurors only to judge the facts and law presented to them so that they can administer justice to all parties in any action? Is it not true that unless a court obtains the clear written witness and unequivocal consent of all parties with full disclosure given and full understanding of definitions and interpretations of all words used in plain English and without duress applied or threats being made or tricked or deceived to be without a jury? Is it not true that any court without such consent be given has never had jurisdiction to proceed summarily and any such awards, doings, and proceedings shall be held to be null and void, and any cases, also known as constructive trust, to be corrected now and recorded accordingly, including the release of all parties unlawfully charged and held to be now released from any order which was given via a magistrate, adjudicator, judge, deputy registrar, or registrar acting under the summary proceedings without such proof of claim of consent. Is it not true that there cannot be any trust or confidence in the process INOR has engaged in, and all persons involved hold full personal and commercial unlimited liabilities? Perhaps very soon INOR will have to vacate the buildings and land and be recused from engagement from the presently existing court system.